Hey, what's up, YouTubers? I just wanted to do another video this morning. I've got a little wire feed welder here. I'm going to try to turn this camera around and tell you a little bit about it. You know, give you guys out there that's inexperienced with welding and that. I'm sure there's guys out there that knows a lot more about it than I do. But you know, for those of you guys that are the DIY guys and different things, just give you an idea on a couple different types of welders I have, and we'll just go from there. This is a Miller Matic. I've had it for, I would say, close to almost 20 years now. I bought it back, I think it was around 400 and some dollars, and then I bought the bottle. I suggest, you know, if you're going to do any type of welding on car panels and things, it's okay to use the I think they call it shielded wire and that, but I would rather use the gas and things on it. You can regulate the stuff. I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me, guys. But anyway, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got your wire speed here. You know, you've got your different settings. Most of the time I run the wire speed here on 3. You can adjust it. You do have to shut the machine off. It just seems to work a lot better, you know, if the machine's off. This particular one, it has had, you know, you could tell it's worse for wear. It's got paint dust on it. It's got Bondo dust. It's got, you know, just all around. It's been used. It's really been a good welder. At the time, I think it was $400 or $500 I paid for it, and then your bottle kit for it. Your welding wire, I've got stainless steel welding wire. I've got you know, the wire feed wire down there also. I think it's got a full spool on it. These are just there because it's the only place I had to put them for fill rod for my other one. Let's walk over and look at it. You know, this one down here is another one. This one's here is one of the first ones that I bought. And I think it was either Craftsman or Montgomery Ward's. I don't remember where I got this one. You know, it's been an all-around good welder. You know, I've had several different people want to try to buy it and that, and I'm funny about that. You know, I'm not one of these guys that I've got buddies that'll, you know, they'll sell the item or whatever, and you know, they'll wish they had, and then they got to go buy another one and pay double for it. You know, you could see this one's a little worse for wear. I still have the leads and everything for it. It's just been a good welder. I like it because some of the newer ones don't go as high. This goes up to 230 on the high end. You know, you can't use it on the high end for maybe 30 minutes, I think it is, the duty cycle on it. But you know, that's another thing. Know what your duty cycles are. Know what you're capable of. Know what your home, you know, if you're a DIYer, know you know, how many amps you can run through a welder, how, you know, what it's going to draw, different things like that. I have hooked this up and used it for a TIG. You know, you got to do a lot of different things. It don't work very well, and that's why I went out and bought a small TIG, and I'll go over that here in a minute or two. But I wanted to show you this here Mac 20. It's an old plasma cutter. It will cut aluminum, small steel. The most I think I've cut with it is up to, I think it was half, but it was struggling. And it does have a little capacitor in there. If you don't watch it, it'll blow it out. You know, this dial here, I have, the most I've learned is I can go up to this point before it will, you know, trip it or blow the deal out. It is 110. I think it's 110 or 220. I've never hooked it up to 220 because we've had so much trouble at 110 with it blowing the capacitors that, you know, the capacitors are like $7 or $8, and I just soon not do it. You know, it works for what I want around here. Sorry about that, guys. I got cut off. The phone rang and cut my stream off. But as I was saying, you know, with the plasma cutter, it does okay on small things. It does in a pinch. You know, if I do need to cut any other things, I use my trusty old torch set here. And that's what I was about ready to say. I get a lot of friends and a lot of people asking me on that stuff. So it tells me, you know, tell me that, you know, hey, you don't use that, you know, why don't you sell it to me? Or, you know, I've got a lot of things around the shop here that, you know, I've got a lot of bolt bends and different things that I've picked up over the years. And people just don't understand, you know, when you buy the tools, or at least, sorry about that, guys, trying to get where you guys not getting a glare. When you buy the tools and things, you know, I buy them to keep them. I don't know about you guys. I got a lot of buddies that I don't understand them. They'll go out and, hopefully you can see me there. They'll go out and buy a welder, use it for what they need, get rid of it. I had one particular, he bought a generator during the ice storm, you know, we had 7 years ago. He took a loss on it, and he knew that I'd kept my generator and that, and I've let him borrow things in the past, and when they come back, they just never seem to be the same when he'd borrow it. And he come to me and asked me if he could borrow my generator. I have a Honda 3000 generator, and I asked him, I said, what happened to the one that you had? Well, I sold it, I need the money. I said, well, you know, I suggest you go buy another one. And he kind of got butthurt at me. He said, well, you got one sitting out there that, you know, you don't use it that much, and, you know, just let me borrow it for a week. I explained to him, you know, the last time that he'd borrowed one of my car hauler, it come back, the plug was ground off of it. I don't know if he drug it or what, but he had a different pickup, and he just didn't hook the lights up and stuff on it, but he drugged the plug off, and then he parked it out here and expected to, you know, not say anything to me or whatever. And once I stopped letting him borrow the trailer and that, and stopped borrowing stuff, he stopped coming around. And I don't know why I got into that story. I just, it's just one of them things that, you know, I buy my stuff to keep it. That's why I take care of it. You know, I done one the other day on toolboxes. That's why I don't sell, you know, some of my older toolboxes and things. For one, I'm not going to get the money I paid for them. And second of all, you know, I just don't see, you know, if you're not going to keep it or whatever, why even buy it in the first place? You know, I've dealt with a lot of different people, you know, and I had a buddy that bugged me He didn't really bug me, but he asked me. I had a toolbox at the other shop, and I really didn't want to move it. But, he asked me to buy it. And in the long run, I sold him, gave him a good price on it and that, but I still ended up having to move it to his place. So I'd been better off to just bring it here to the house. But I thought, why did I really need that many toolboxes? But I guess what I'm trying to get across, guys, is, when I buy tools, when I buy welders, things like that, I'm not one of them type guys, and I know a lot of guys, they'll use it, or if they don't use it in a while, they'll sell it. I try not to, I've seen guys that, they get to hurting for money or whatever, and they sell items. I give a friend some tools one time, and I was trying to help him out. He had a habit of, selling his tools off or get hurting for money, and he'd pawn it, and then he wouldn't have the money to go do an odd job or whatever to make a little extra money. I gave him some tools one time, was no big deal. They were old ones. And I'm sure I would have, used them for something, but I give them to him to help him out, and I'm pretty sure that, he got hard up for money and he pawned them, which is no big deal. It's just one of them things that, with your welders and stuff like that, I don't know if you guys do it or not, but, I try to keep all my tools. Whether